Hello, guys, and welcome to this new episode of the Unexplainable Podcast. It is said that for good to exist, there must also be evil in a precise balance. And in religions, the evil, corruption, and sin are represented by figures of which, in one way or another, we have all heard. Demons. A demon is the incarnation of the most despicable and wrong in the human being, but also a warning to adopt a benevolent behavior towards others and life itself. So today's episode I want to dedicate to 5 demonic figures that are not only considered among the most terrible, but also among those that have had the greatest influence on our popular culture. So here are the 5 scariest demons of religions. Appointment with the inexplicable power. It is said that for good to exist, there must also be and in religions, evil, corruption, and sin are represented by Pazuzu is one of the most fascinating and feared demonic figures in Mesopotamian mythology, which includes the ancient civilizations of Sumer, Akkad, Assyria, and Babylon. Known as the king of the wind demons, Pazuzu is primarily associated with evil winds, particularly those blowing from the west, bringing with them disease, famine, and destruction. He was not just an evil demon, but was also feared and respected, to the point that his image was sometimes used as a protective talisman against other evil spirits. His duality, capable of causing suffering but also offering protection, makes him an extremely complex figure. In Mesopotamian mythology, Pazuzu's appearance is one of the most horrifying among the gods and demons of ancient Mesopotamia. He is often depicted as a hybrid creature with the body of a man, eagle wings, a lion or dog head, bird of prey claws, and a scorpion tail. Pazuzu's face is particularly terrifying, with bulging eyes, an open mouth, jagged teeth, and a menacingly protruding tongue. His hands are depicted with sharp claws, and his spread wings suggest his association with the destructive force of the wind. This beastly appearance is not accidental. Each element of his body symbolized a part of his power. The wings indicated his ability to move quickly through the skies, while the scorpion tail and claws represented his poisonous and deadly nature. However, just like the amulets that depicted him, which were used to keep evil spirits away, his terrifying appearance also served as a deterrent against other even more dangerous demonic forces, like the Amashtu, a female demon that threatened pregnant women and newborns. Ancient texts, like the clay tablets found in archaeological excavations, contain prayers and spells where Pazuzu is frequently mentioned. This shows how his influence was deeply rooted in the daily life of the Mesopotamians, who lived in a reality where the supernatural was an integral part of their existence. Despite his ancient origin, Pazuzu has found a new place in popular culture, especially thanks to cinema. The demon was made famous by the 1973 horror film The Exorcist, where it is identified as the evil entity that possesses the young protagonist, Regan. Pazuzu's face briefly appears in some scenes, becoming one of the most iconic images in horror cinema. The figure has also been featured in other contexts, such as in comics, video games, and literature, where it continues to symbolize terror and chaos. In conclusion, it's a perfect example of how demonic figures from ancient cultures can have a lasting influence over time, adapting and transforming with the evolution of human beliefs and fears. From king of the wind demons to icon of horror cinema, Pazuzu continues to represent the uncontrollable forces of nature and the primal fears of humanity. Lilith is a figure shrouded in mystery, but also one of the most complex and controversial demons in history. According to some versions of Jewish mythology, she is considered Adam's first wife, created not from his rib like Eve, but from the same earth, making her thus equal to him. Legend has it that due to her strong desire for independence and equality, Lilith refused to submit to Adam, especially during sexual intercourse, claiming her right to be on top of him. This refusal led to a dispute that culminated in Lilith's departure from the Garden of Eden. By pronouncing the name of God, she thus gained her freedom, but at the cost of her own damnation. After leaving Adam, Lilith took refuge on the shores of the Red Sea, where it is said she met some demons with whom she would generate a progeny of dark creatures. In some traditions, she is transformed into a vengeful demon, a figure that represents rebellion against patriarchal norms and primordial chaos. She is associated with storm winds, miscarriages, and infant death, thus becoming a symbol of everything that is uncontrollable and wild in human nature. In iconography, Lilith is often depicted as a beautiful woman, but with animalistic features that reflect her demonic nature. Sometimes she appears with bat wings, sharp claws instead of feet, or with a snake wrapped around her body, a symbol of temptation and danger. In other depictions, she is portrayed next to dead children, or with lesser demons following her, emphasizing her role as a bringer of death and chaos. One of the most powerful symbols associated with Lilith is the seal, an amulet used to protect newborns from her. In antiquity, mothers used pendants depicting three angels, Senoi, Sansenoi, and Samanjalof, who, according to legend, had the power to keep Lilith away from newborn babies. This is because, as revenge for her expulsion from Eden, she was known to kidnap and kill unprotected children. In Kabbalah, the mystical Jewish tradition, Lilith takes on an even more complex and dark role. She is seen as the wife of Samael, a fallen angel with whom she forms a pair that represents supreme evil. Their union is the opposite of the sanctity of the marriage between Adam and Eve, symbolizing a sinful relationship and a harbinger of misfortune. Lastly, in ancient tradition, Lilith is also seen as a manifestation of the dark feminine aspect of the deity, a reflection of the negative feminine energies that needed to be balanced and controlled, at least in that era. But in the contemporary age, Lilith has undergone a significant transformation, evolving from a demonic figure to a symbol of female emancipation. In the 70s, with the rise of the feminist movement, she was rediscovered and reinterpreted as an icon of resistance against patriarchal oppression. In this context, she is no longer seen as a demon, but as a woman who chose freedom and self-determination over submission. This new perspective led to the birth of Lilith Fair, a music festival founded in the 90s dedicated to female artists and the power of sisterhood. Lilith thus became a symbol of strength and rebellion, an inspiration for women who refused to be relegated to traditional roles imposed by society. In popular culture, she appears in numerous books, films, and television series, often portrayed as a fascinating and dangerous figure, capable of challenging the established order and representing the struggle for independence and equality. In conclusion, the figure of Lilith is one of the most fascinating and complex in Jewish mythology. Originally conceived as a terrifying demon, she has been transformed over the centuries into a powerful symbol of resistance and independence. And today she continues to inspire and challenge traditional conceptions of women, remaining an enigmatic and powerful figure in the cultural landscape. Asmodeus. The figure of Asmodeus is considered one of the most disturbing conceived in the religious field. A demon that embodies lust and holds a significant place in demonology around the world. He is known as one of the 7 princes of hell and is often associated with sins related to sensuality and passion. Asmodeus has ancient roots. His figure appears in various religious traditions, but it is in Judeo-Christian culture that he gains particular prominence. According to tradition, he is described as a terrible demon, often depicted with 3 heads, one of a bull, one human, and one of a ram, symbolizing his power and cunning. In the Bible, he is mentioned in the book of Tobit, where it tells of how the demon kills Sarah's husbands, preventing her from finding a lasting companion. Here, Asmodeus is not only the symbol of lust, but also represents the destruction and curse of human relationships. In Christian demonology, he is often described as a ruthless and manipulative being. Apocryphal texts of medieval works depict him as a demon capable of seducing and corrupting, in particular the young, inducing them into sexual misconduct. In some depictions, he is represented with symbols like the snake, emphasizing his power of temptation. His presence is also felt in exorcism rituals, where he is invoked to free people from his influence. Asmodeus played a significant role in medieval literature, where he was mentioned in works like Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy, where demons represent the cardinal sins. Furthermore, in the Malleus Maleficarum, a 15th century text on witch trials, he is written as the demon who induces people to sin, thus contributing to the spread of his notoriety. In modern times, however, this demon has also found space in literature and media. It appears in novels, comics, and films, where it is often portrayed as a fascinating and seductive creature, capable of exerting a fatal attraction on those who encounter it. For example, it is present in the famous role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons, where it is represented as a powerful demon of vices. Furthermore, its figure has been used in various television series and horror films, where it embodies evil and temptation. In conclusion, Asmodeus represents a complex and ambivalent figure and symbol of desire and corruption, but also of a quest for power, to be obtained however exclusively through sin. Mara is a key figure in Buddhist mythology, considered a powerful and cunning demon, known for having tempted Buddha on his path to enlightenment. Mara represents the temptations, spiritual obstacles, and distractions that can divert an individual from realizing their true potential. Its presence is a symbol of the inner challenges and battles that every practitioner must face in the spiritual journey. According to Buddhist scriptures, Mara is described as a cunning and deceptive demon, capable of manifesting in various ways to seduce and distract practitioners. During the crucial moment when the Buddha was about to reach enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, Mara appeared to hinder him, trying to make him lose concentration. His figure embodies the fears, desires, and illusions that can prevent a person from advancing on their spiritual path. The demon is often depicted as a monstrous figure with physical traits that express his disturbing character. In some iconographies, he is depicted with dark skin, burning eyes, and a threatening expression. Sometimes he is accompanied by a retinue of demons, symbolizing the temptations and distractions he offers. A key symbol associated with Mara is the white horse he rides, representing the power and speed with which temptations can engulf an individual. His manifestations vary, but the essence of Mara is always that of a cunning and dangerous adversary who presents himself in familiar forms to confuse and disorient. Meditation and introspection practices are often used to confront the temptations of Mara. So the demon, in a sense, also becomes a teacher, as it shows practitioners the area in which they need to work and grow. In recent years, the concept of Mara has found new interpretations in the context of modern life. In psychology, it is compared to the inner voices or fears that block our personal development. Many contemporary spiritual teachers use the figure of Mara to describe the internal struggles individuals must face in their quest for peace and happiness. Furthermore, it has become a popular symbol in self-help movements and personal growth courses, where its temptations are compared to modern distractions, like technology, consumerism, and social pressures. Awareness of Mara's temptations can help people recognize and overcome the obstacles that stand between them and their well-being. Seen in this way, Mara is not just a demon from Buddhist mythology, but a powerful symbol of the struggles we all must face in our lives. And what is more terrible than the difficulties we experience as human beings? Azazel is a fascinating and complex figure present in both Jewish and Islamic tradition. In Jewish mythology, he is often described as a fallen angel, an entity that has transgressed the boundaries of the divine and chosen to embrace evil. His name, which means the scapegoat, is linked to a specific ritual described in the book of Leviticus. During Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, a goat was chosen and symbolically loaded with the sins of the people of Israel, to then be sent into the desert as a sacrifice to Azazel. This ritual represented purification and liberation from sins. In Islamic tradition, Azazel is associated with Iblis, the equivalent of the devil who refused to bow before Adam. Iblis is described as a jinn, a creature created from fire, and his rebellion is seen as a manifestation of arrogance and disobedience towards Allah. In both traditions, he is a symbol of the fall and punishment of In, kind of like Lucifer, to put it simply. In Jewish mythology, he is often portrayed as a dark and feared entity, a demon embodying sin and estrangement from God. The scapegoat, tied to his name, symbolizes not only human imperfection, but also the need to confront and acknowledge one's own transgressions. In Islamic tradition, as mentioned, he is portrayed as a highly intelligent and powerful jinn, but also greatly disobedient. Unlike angels, who cannot sin, Iblis chose to oppose God, becoming the number one enemy of human beings and eager to stray from the straight path. This representation highlights the dualism between light and darkness, between obedience and rebellion. Azazel has had a significant impact on religious practices and exorcism rituals. In Jewish culture, the scapegoat ritual symbolized not only purification, but also the struggle against evil forces. Azazel has inspired numerous works in enemy literature. In the Bible, sleep now appears in the context of the Yom Kippur ritual, but it is also mentioned in apocryphal texts like the Book of Enoch, where he is described as one of the rebel angels who taught men the art of war and seduction. These stories have fueled the collective imagination around similar figures in folklore and narrative. In more recent times, he has been portrayed in movies and television series. An example is the movie Fallen, where the character of Azazel is a demon who can possess human bodies. They highlight the theme of possession and the struggle between good and evil. He is also an important antagonist in the series Supernatural, contributing to the narrative of the conflict between angels and demons. These references show how it continues to live in the collective imagination, representing the fears and tensions related to human nature and its choices. His figure, therefore, is not only a symbol of darkness, but also a call to individual responsibility and the search for redemption. And these kids are 5. Among the most terrifying, but also controversial, demons of different religions, legions that in a certain way continue to exert their influence even at a cultural level. But what do you think of these demons? Which ones did you know or fear the most? And why? Let me know in a comment. An inexplicable podcast from a series conceived, written, and hosted by Luca Perella. Of Musisha Podcast.